Hello, hello. Welcome back to Three Slips and Silly Points. We've got our legends back. Got Chai at first.
Uh,
We got Chai at first slip, Raj at second slip. I'm gonna keep myself at third slip even after that little drop of a catch, but
I love how you understood that
that's why
too.
you had it. Yeah. I understood it. These are all technical difficulties we can't really manage, but we are going with it. And with this
maybe
episode, we'll focus on the
maybe
pink
after
test, which
1,000
is
subscribers, we can upgrade our internet connection.
so
correct.
that's
Yeah, that's right.
essentially
So please subscribe. That's right. I
one more
need better
reason
internet.
for people to
But
subscribe.
that's right. That's right. Yeah. Vote for get Randy better internet. Today's episode will focus on the pink test, which is just a couple of days away. And also it was meant to be a 2-day warm-up, but obviously we know weather down under, so it was a 1-day test ODI. So clothes were in test, they were wearing white and everything, but it was actually just a 50 over game. But we'll kick off with the warm-up in Canberra, and then that will give us an idea of what we think for the ping pong test. I think nothing major. Like Jaswell played pretty well. Well, after a while, he just started swinging his bat. I think he got lucky 3 or 4 times, where it just
Yeah.
went over the slips. Rahul is looking amazing. He is looking. Yeah, that's right. We're hoping he's looking amazing. And Shubham Gill
Yeah, I
also
mean
looked pretty
he got his
steady.
50
He
and
looks
then he
pretty strong.
retired, didn't get out. Yeah.
Yeah, then he retired. Yeah, Rohit was what do we call that? Just
He again chased
Like,
the ball that was on like the sixth stump or fifth stump and got caught.
that
correct,
makes me nervous a
correct.
lot more
And
because in that twilight where the ball starts to move quite a bit, and
Yeah.
I mean, if he's got a weakness of chasing the ball outside fifth or sixth
Yeah.
stump, well, Aussies will stick to that one single line and force him
But
to make that
honestly,
mistake.
to be honest, I think for him, I'm not worried about that line. I'm more worried about that short ball and that impulse pull that he'll just trigger. And some of that fine leg is like, oh, six, caught. And he'll just be like, that's my best shot. I have to hit the runs, so I'm gonna keep going. And I'm like, well,
Okay. Well, I'm just gonna say this. We'll probably, in a week's time, we'll see what happens. But we were all nervous going into first test with
yeah.
Kohli because he had a
mm,
really, really rough patch. His comeback with flying colors. Fingers crossed. Right.
I love how Raj and I were like, "That was fantastic." Chai's like, "Please continue, please,
More,
please."
more, more.
Just
Please, please, please,
we
please,
need more.
please.
more, more, more. Yeah,
Similarly, I'm
yeah.
expecting uh, Rohit to come back in a good form, come back with a good game as well.
Yeah.
I think I'm with with that, like his line, how he got out, like as you said, Raj, he was like on sixth stump reaching, right? So that's like typical Australian bowling. Like you've got Stark doing with the left hander away, right, or one that goes in. Hazelwood's obviously not playing.
But ball,
Thank God. Mystery injury that has just come out. It wasn't about the press conference, but it was some mystery injury. Um, and Australia will exploit that line. Like, yes, like we've got the short ball, which they probably won't do more often, but the more often will be the one that pitches away and he's probably reaching for it. And that's what happened in first test, right? There was a lot of these kind of edge ones, but Jaiswal and Rahul had the discipline to leave it because
well,
like see our previous series, India is known to
Rahul's way
reach
of
for them.
leaving it is try as if he's going to play the shot,
Oh yeah,
and the
I
ball
hate
just
that
seriously
block.
moves.
I I hate
Yeah.
that leave because it just looks like because I reckon it would even confuse the umpire, and that's especially how he got out the first innings because they're like
Yeah.
the bat hit the pad, but
mm.
also the ball was really close. All right, fine, we'll just give him out. Benefit of the doubt given to the bowler. Um,
But I thought it's better for the give it to
Usually,
should be
yeah,
given to
yeah,
the batsman.
yeah.
There wasn't enough conclusive evidence. Which again, I digress from our topic, but it didn't make sense that there wasn't enough information for the third umpire. He only had Snicko, but no side. I think there was no hotspot because
No,
that's
no,
they didn't
it's
purchase
it's
it.
not there in DRS anymore.
I think
Now, apparently, you could pay
no.
Aussies. Yeah,
Apparently, you got to
Aussie.
purchase it.
The previous
You got to pay.
broadcasters did pay, and
Yeah,
because no one else in
yeah.
the globe were using it, so this time around they said, we don't need it. But if you pay, you can get it.
No, no. So I think you can. So the
You can get it. Yeah.
broadcasters can pay to show you if it was touched or not, but it can't be used for the decision. So DRS can't be used. Even
Oh,
even
yeah,
even
yeah,
if
yeah.
the hotspot
Yep.
proves us
I get
the
what you're
other
saying.
way, they
Yeah.
can't change the decision on it because DRS isn't allowed to use it. Yeah.
Yeah, correct. No, but even the like TV actual broadcasters
Yeah.
didn't show us a hotspot.
But
They didn't show the technology. But that's what like I was hearing as Chai said that the
yeah.
CA didn't purchase that
Yeah.
technology as
Yeah,
part
I
of this
feel
series.
it's again one of the byproducts of two consecutive losses against India. I think one of the previous series where uh, Snicko picked up something, Hotspot did not show anything, and then there were this whole discussions that they put Vaseline
Oh
on the
yeah.
edges, so the Hotspot doesn't pick up. And I'll probably find a link for that controversy and flick it across. So yeah, all in all,
Mm,
they're all ganged up somehow.
yeah.
Don't wanna have a hat trick of BGT losses at home.
Yeah. Um.
But someone explain me what is Nitish Reddy eating for breakfast? This guy comes in, it's like cool. Debut
Yeah,
match was not a problem. Scored decent runs. Comes in here,
And
bang.
so good.
I mean, it's one of the he's getting that freedom, right? When he's walking in, it's stress
Mm,
free time. But having said that, the first innings where India were essentially six down for less than 70 runs, he did come in and play a
mm,
decent, pretty good. Like he
Actually,
scored like
very well. He looked solid.
almost, yeah. That was very contrasting innings to what he did in the second.
Oh,
Where he
guaranteed.
was like,
mm.
I don't care. I just need to up the run rate. I just need to score as many runs as possible. So
Yeah.
it's nice to see that he's got a mix of both. I'd love to see a bit more bowling power coming out of him in both the games. I mean,
What's he bowling at the moment? What's he
125,
doing at the
his
really.
moment?
yeah, and he's not
125.
having a
Okay.
longer spells as well. He's just coming in as a
Yeah.
sort of a substitute or just give the other guys a bit of a break
Serious.
sort of bowler.
But
So I would say a lower order Labuschagne for us. But again,
Yeah, but our Labu scores runs. He can bowl, but he scores runs.
uh,
He doesn't leave it a ball
to
coming
be
in.
honest, though, I think Adelaide is where he might need to bowl. Like, if India does decent, then again, he won't need to bowl a lot. But
yeah,
I actually
definitely.
think
Mm.
so hot take. I actually think we might go in with two full-time pace bowlers. So uh, Harshit Rana might not get a game, or Siraj might not get a game, and we might see Ashwin coming in. Um, which would mean Nitish Rana might have to bowl some more pace if the
Ah,
conditions need a bit more pace bowling.
so you're
Um,
expecting the pitch to offer.
I think you would go in with one
full-time
spinner,
spinner.
one yeah, a full-time spinner, just because we know the pitch. Like yes, more swing. We know that, but there is a hint of turn, and according to what apparently this secret pitch is being made out of, because everything's covered.
Yeah,
It's a
yeah,
bit
exactly.
drier. They're saying. I had a quick read that it's drier
Yeah.
than what it used to be. So we know the thing. It's like wacko, right? It starts out dry, starts cracking up,
Yeah,
um,
I think.
and opening
I
up.
mean, this
But
is
yeah,
probably the curator picking up from India New Zealand's series win. Saying, all right, let's Indians can't play on spinning
Yeah.
tracks. We've tried creating a green surface. They smoked us. All right, let's try and create a spinning track and let's smoke them.
To be honest, I think so, Ash surely gets the game in Adelaide.
Yeah.
Well, we
oh,
can't say
hero.
he will because he didn't play
Like
the warm-up game. Stop bluffing.
Yeah, I mean, to me, Ash is one of those players who doesn't require,
Yeah, for
I
sure.
know
Doesn't need it.
he's
But
Correct.
he's
he's
Yeah,
still
had
got
a
a great
yeah,
pretty
yeah.
record.
bad, yeah, he's had a bad New Zealand series, but so does the rest of the playing 10 as well. So
Not
it's
Sundar. Not
all
Sundar.
right, all right, all right. Playing
Not
rest
so
of the
that.
nine, folks.
But
It's been sparked. So hopefully, yeah, if Ashwin needs to be slated in, he's just going to be picked straight away. Doesn't
yeah,
Mm,
yeah.
mean that
But
he
I
hasn't
actually
played
think
the game.
he might get a go this game because he's got a great pink ball record in general anyway. The last two times that we've played, he got a lot of wickets. Plus, I think given the pitch is drier, we're going to need some spin. So if that actually happens, then the Tish probably will get more bowling.
Yeah.
Um, yeah, hopefully. And what about
Uh,
Washi for Jaddu? Do we see that happening?
sorry.
Washi moves
uh,
away for Jaddu, or keep going with Jaddu? Ah, sorry, keep going with
Uh,
Washi.
I was gonna bring up that because if you add Ash
I'd,
into the squad, you have Washi, Ash, and Jaddu, three spinners.
No.
Uh,
It's a swap out
it's
between Jaddu and
yeah.
Washi.
just one. Yeah.
I feel Washi is probably gonna be swapped around with Ash.
Really? Oh, with Ash?
Yeah, it has to be.
Yeah.
Oh, so
So
Yeah.
Jaddu
you think
continues. Jaddu is gonna
no? But Jaddu
continue.
wasn't even in. No, he wasn't in the team last game.
Oh
Jaddu didn't play
yeah.
last game. Yeah, because we had
Who, Jadeja?
Really?
Harshit Rana, Siraj,
Yeah,
Bumrah.
that's right.
Oh.
He wasn't in the previous
Yeah,
test. Yeah, yeah, correct.
Alright,
He wasn't.
and and
I'm
and
Raj
mistaken.
is right.
and
Because we went with
in
those
this
spin.
practice game, it was so cool. Like I was um watching this and that and Jaddu compete for the same spot. And the best part for me was that they both got one wicket each. And while Jaddu was bowling, his wicket was taken in the same spot, caught by Washington Sundar. Next over, Sundar comes in, and the ball caught by the same fielding spot, but just then Jaddu was standing there.
Yeah, I think I mean if it comes down to the two of them, probably Ash, sorry, Washi would have upper hand because Jad. I mean, even if you look at the practice game as well, Jaddu got whacked around, whereas Washi. Oh, sorry, I'm wrong. Both of them got smacked around.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
all right, it's even
They both go
playing.
back around and they both look solid in on the pitch with the bat. The other thing is, I think the pitch was fairly benign. Like there was barely any movement. It was fairly flat, and
Mm,
everyone looked real comfortable. Like not just like Indian players, even the Aussie batters looked all good.
mm.
Yeah.
Is it me or the pitch was massive?
It
I
was
mean,
pretty
the
big. It
ground
was
looked
pretty big.
massive.
Yeah,
Was just
and
or the camera
it was
angle? It
It
just
was
looked
pretty big because
huge.
they
Yeah.
got a few threes in. It was definitely not as slow as Perth, the outfield.
Mm.
Yeah.
And 1-4.
Um.
Yeah, yeah. What do you think
Oh,
about
he's not going to get
Surprise?
a game. No
Sorry,
game
the
from
guy who
him,
can't
sir.
keep.
Yeah. I think he got his consolation game for the series in
Yeah.
this 1 day or 1 day test practice game. Um, uh,
Mm.
I'd be
So what do
really
we think
surprised
for
if they're
yeah?
dropping Harshit Rana because he's done great in the first test. He's done great in the practice game as well.
Yeah.
Mm.
When
And he
on a
couldn't stop
practice
getting
game,
wickets. That they literally had to
yeah.
pull him off bowling so he can like give other people a chance to bowl. He
And
literally
this is
came in, got 4 wickets, and he's like, "Chalo, theek hai."
yeah, if he gets dropped at this point, I feel
It's not drop, right? It's literally bowling
rested.
for yeah, exactly. Not rested, but like we're sort of like fielding a team that's suitable for this. And given Siraj hasn't done anything wrong, and he's been in the 11 for longer, he just gets to the precedent for being in the 11.
Yeah.
Even though Rana might get more wickets than him in the next game if he plays.
Yeah. Scott Boland, yeah, on the same pitch that
Yeah,
most of the Indian bowlers were getting smoked. I mean, he didn't get wickets, but had a good spell, right?
very
10
economical.
overs
Very
for
good spell.
36
Yeah.
when I compared it to rest of the Indian bowlers who were pretty much getting smoked at at an average of 5 or 6.
Not Siraj though.
Siraj, I guess, is pure respect, I would say, at this
Yeah.
point,
Yeah.
because it was overcast conditions, and we've seen Siraj how the way he rips through. If he starts getting wickets in that early over, Sri Lanka is the prime example where
Mm.
they he sort of smoked them like two times in that very 10 for 5 or 10 for 6 scenarios. So I think they just played out Siraj, knowing that there's no Bumrah in the squad, and then they can score runs with other bowlers.
Yeah, yeah. But I think that's kind of why it'll be interesting to see who they pick in the next game. Because if the pitch is going to be drier and if it will aid spin, then will they actually have the guts to remove Harshit Rana and bring in Ash? And it's crazy to say that you need guts to put Ash in the 11, because a couple of years ago there wouldn't even
Mm.
be an 11 without him in Australia.
Well, age is catching up on Ash, so that's that.
Yeah, yeah.
Um,
And more than the age, I think, because we can still bowl all good. Like I know he had an off-season series last series, but um, I think it's the fielding. Like you have to, you literally need to hide him in the field,
yeah.
where it gets tricky.
Mm.
Um,
Hey,
and I know like people don't really attack the ball as much in Test, and it's fine. But like just in case if it's on the boundary and it's like run a little bit to get there, and you think the same catch Washington can take, but he can't take. It's just
yeah,
yeah.
and it becomes hard to hide.
So see, that's why in terms of Sundar versus Jadeja, right? Like, I would take like yes, Sundar is younger,
Oh,
but
guaranteed.
Jadeja still got that
Judd
fire.
is still the better fielder.
Like,
Full stop.
yeah,
Any given day.
yeah, better fielder, right? Like he's a good bowler, similar bowler,
Yeah.
batting similar-ish,
Oh, no,
right?
no, no, no.
And but
Wait,
fielding is
Jaddu in
where
the
he takes the
last
edge.
few
Judd is,
years has been averaging
is
40 something with the bat, 42 with the
yeah,
bat.
yeah. I would.
Oh. So see that he's
He,
got that extra edge, right? So in two spots,
And
he's
I
he
got that
think the
averages
extra edge.
only
21 with the ball in Australia.
the thing that's going in Wash's favor is the form.
Yeah.
Jaddu has been lacking again. Coming off a poor series against New Zealand, I guess everyone's spot's being questioned, and Washi
Mm.
just stood up, right?
Yeah.
Everyone falling apart.
Jaddu wasn't far off though. So him and Washington Sundar got the same amount of wickets last series, but Jaddu played all 3 games versus Washington played just 2 games.
Just 2 games,
Mm.
But I think so. Technically, Jaddu only
Okay.
had one off game.
yeah.
Yeah. So
True.
Quick maths.
quick maths brings him back around, you know.
Yeah.
But I would still choose Adelaide, somewhere in Australia that he's played like the three series, right? Um, like yeah, he knows. Like Jadeja knows what needs to be done, what how to, and that fire and the batting. Yeah, yeah. Again, in my squad that we'll talk about a little bit later, I give him the edge to be included. Yeah,
Maybe
Uh, yeah.
let's
Why
talk about
later?
this.
I think it's time.
Yeah, let's
yeah, we'll
get
do
into
that.
it.
Okay,
Right. So I think
let's get into
the
it.
with return of Rohit, or Rohit
Where do
joining
you
the
place them?
team, and Gill being fit,
Oh,
I think this becomes a crazy call. I feel Rohit's gonna just get a walk in straight away, right?
Oh, of
They
course,
know
even
where.
Gill.
Yeah, if Gill gets
I
in.
mean,
So I think
there's no competition because Jarrell and Padikal didn't do much anyway. Um,
yeah, they Derailed in bat.
yeah.
No, he did not.
hmm,
The 2-day one. Derailed in bat, and
yeah,
Padigal was just obviously the last one, so nothing
So
major. Yeah.
Particle and Jarell make way for Gill and Rohit. I think
yeah,
now the
easy.
biggest question is gonna be the batting
Where
order.
where
Where
do you put him, Randeep? On the hot spots? Tell us.
You you disturb the opening pair, which have done
They
so
couldn't
well.
even do it
Oh,
in the practice game. Would they do it in the actual match? Hell no.
oh,
yeah.
hell no. Right. Okay. So
Sorry, I
yeah,
was gonna
go ahead.
say, they sort of gave a glimpse of where, how or what the thought process is, from the coaching think tank. Said, clearly Shubman's 3, Rohit's 4.
Oh, I don't know
When
Rohit's gonna
Mm.
be 4. I reckon
Oh no, it's not quite
Yeah,
before Cole
Has
yeah,
to be
came.
Kohli. They can't move Kohli
yeah.
down.
So we all agree.
So you
So
dropped
we are
Rohit to
agreeing.
fifth? Wow.
Stick with the same opening of Jaiswal
Yeah.
and
Oh
KL.
yeah.
Uh,
Yep.
Gill to come at 3. Virat at 4. Rohit at 5.
Yeah.
Pant at 6.
Yeah.
Oh,
All right, that's your
yep.
top 6.
Yeah.
Uh, do you
Reddy.
have Nitish?
Yeah. Yeah.
Nitish in the squad?
Yeah.
7.
Oh, now we're
Leaves
getting
you
Mm.
there.
with leaves you with 4
Oh, now
slots
we're struggling.
to fill
I
up your bowling squad.
Yeah. So if it's me, I'm gonna go with Jaddu instead of Washi. I'm dropping Washi.
Yep.
Jaddu.
Because
I'm with you. Yep.
didn't look consistent enough to me in the first game with the ball. That pitch map
Yeah.
was all over the place. So yeah, Jaddu comes in, and then I would rest Rana again and bring Ash in if the pitch is dry. If the pitch is dry, if the pitch isn't dry, then
Yeah.
we'll keep going with Rana, Siraj, Bumrah. Pitch is dry, get rid of
Mm.
Rana, bring in Ashwin.
Ashwin.
Uh,
Yeah.
run.
And
Yeah,
then you got Bumrah and Siraj. Yeah.
Yeah,
Mm. Yeah,
I
pretty
feel
similar to what
sorry
I said, yeah.
for
I think the first 6 or 7
I
is
feel
pretty
sorry
similar.
for Pradesh
Yeah.
Krishna and his
Prasid Krishna.
Prasid Krishna.
Yeah,
He's been pretty consistent, but I think it's nice to see, a team where people performing at that top caliber yet
yeah,
struggling to make it because the current occupants are far more stronger than them. And the
yeah,
benchmarks. This was probably back, the Fab Four of India in early 2000s, and the benchmark just got
Mm.
higher and higher. We always talk about Subramaniam Badrinath, despite being an amazing
Oh
player,
my
never
God.
made it because he set the benchmark here, but the current occupant's benchmark was way too high. So I'm so
Yeah.
happy that it's now spread to the bowling as well.
But do you know what's crazy though for me? Before the start of first match, everyone was talking about the second match and the third match and how they all want Mohammad Shami to get there. As soon as
No
we
one's.
saw how the first test went,
Mm.
no one's mentioned Shami. No one's asked for him to be on the plane.
I feel this is
He's still in the
yeah
background.
Yeah,
In
this
some news
is
I've seen still in the background because they're tracking
yeah.
his
It's all
effort.
mind
Yeah.
games, is what I feel at this point, right? I mean, we know that have any game in Australia, everyone comes together, right? The commentators supporting the home team, the entire media supporting the home team,
Mm.
and this is just to say, hey, your bowling squad's not strong enough. You need a player that hasn't touched the played an international game for nearly a year to
yeah,
come and rescue you. So it's essentially mind games, is what I felt because going into the series, when the team was announced, they did announce 3 traveling reserves, and there was no reference by BCCI of
Mm.
Shami. It's
yeah,
essentially rested, and they're just tracking his fitness. It
yeah,
was something that just started to crop up just around the start of that first test that Shami may join the squad in from second or third test.
yeah. Okay, quick thoughts on the Aussie squad, yeah. Who do we see coming in? Who do we see leaving? And who do we
Uh,
see?
Well,
you know,
well, we already
yeah,
know one's out
Yeah,
because of a
Hazelwood's
injury.
out because of injury.
yeah.
Well, we don't know whether his tongue caused the injury or there was actually niggle.
Like, was the side strain on his tongue, or was it on his actual?
Awful. But going with Aussies, right? Aussie being Aussies and the way they sort of stick as a hunting pack, they tend to keep the external conversations not impact their decision making.
Mm.
I feel swapping Hazelwood because of whatever is the
Yeah, okay.
injury is the only change. They're just going to stick with the core team. I guess if
So
they drop Labuschagne, I don't think there's anyone that can replace him straight away, right? There isn't
yeah,
isn't any contender.
Yeah.
The only other person, which I feel, again, McSweeney, first test, not a great start. And the
Mm.
second innings, he's probably, set up for, yeah,
Yeah, but he
second
got
innings, he was set up for
unlucky.
failure.
Yeah.
I'm expecting him to get another go at it.
I think he'll get
I,
another try.
I, to
Yeah,
be
I think
honest,
he should
think
get
McSweeney will
another
get
crack.
every single game until the end of the series. Yeah,
Uh, like fifth
everything he'll get.
test.
Because I
Yes.
mean,
Ah,
there should be no pressure. Because one, he's not an opener and he's still doing the opening job. And second, there's no
yeah,
one else scoring runs out there anyway for them, like in Sheffield Shield.
true.
I know Bancroft just scored a century, but again, like one in a blue moon, so shouldn't it put
Mm.
any pressure on the selectors to pull him out? But what about I've heard chatters of Marnus maybe getting swapped out for Inglis because Inglis has been in red hot form in Sheffield Shield. So, but both of their
Probably.
keepers have been in real good form in local cricket.
But doesn't Minus have a decent record in
Yeah, but I
Adelaide?
think that
Like
what they're
minus
saying is,
his
look,
previous
Marnus is
games.
great.
Yeah,
No one's questioning his ability to actually bat. It's just that mental block.
yeah.
And
What's
given
happened? Yeah.
where he is mentally, do we think he can go in the second match and score runs? Like, even if it's 10 or 20 more runs,
Mm,
it's still better than
yeah.
1 or 2 runs, right? Like,
Yeah.
even if English scores, because
Correct.
English
Oh,
also scores at a
110%. Yeah.
very high clip. Um, he's not going to hang
Mm.
around like
Yeah.
Marnus either. It's like there's
Well,
a lot of rumors. But what do we
yeah.
think? Do we
Again,
think he's going to get swapped out or not? Yeah.
I feel the only swap around would be Hazelwood because of his injury. If
Mm.
Hazelwood didn't have that, I would say they would just stick with the same playing 11.
Yeah.
There were patches of form that has come through on the squad, but I think they'll just have to just gather them together and deliver it consistently.
Okay, so since we're saying Hazelwood's going to get swapped out, who do we see coming in for him?
Poland.
Bowling.
They've added
Gotta
two
be
more
Poland.
players in the mix, Sean Abbott and Bo Webster.
Yeah, but
So
I guess it's
with both of them, you'd get decent bowling. Um, I don't know much about Bo Webster, but with Sean Abbott, I know for sure he's a full-time bowler and he can bat a decent amount.
Yeah.
uh, to me it feels Bolin just because of that previous record that he has against India.
Yeah.
You could see in the practice game as well that they didn't go berserk, didn't go crazy chasing with him. So I think they'll just be
Mm.
nervous, and Aussies being Aussies just want to pick up on that and just stick with that fire.
Yeah.
He was the best bowler in the Canberra warm-up, wasn't he? Like in terms of economy. Like I think he didn't get any wickets, but economy-wise, he was the best bowler. And Australia went with depth. They did nine bowling. Nine
Yeah.
bowlers,
Yeah.
sorry.
What
That's good.
caught me
Yeah.
off guard was if you're gonna play someone in the match, why expose them in a practice match? Like if they wanted to give him practice, why not
Mm.
give Marnus some time in the middle if they're okay with like pulling people who are gonna play
Apparently,
in the 11
a
in
lot
a
of
practice game?
players did not want to be part of any further. They just wanted to rest up. There was a podcast, or there was a comment from Michael Clark saying, you got 9 days between the two tests.
Yeah.
Rest up for a couple of days, turn up for one of these games. There's a parallel ODI, Sheffield ODI series that's currently going on,
Mhm.
but none of the players were interested in participating. So
Wow.
you know, so I think, yeah, something either self-preservation or whatever. But yeah, no one decided wanted to play,
Mm.
and Poland must have put up his hand up saying,
Yeah,
"Hey,
but
give me
both
an
in,
audition."
in the PM11 though, in like against the team you're gonna play, like why expose yourself? Like, yeah, I get playing for Sheffield Shield and stuff. Like, that's all
Yeah.
good because you're not actually playing against the people you're going to play in a proper game against. And that kind of tells me I have a feeling it could be Sean Abbott because they want to bolster their batting a little bit more. And imagine that. Do you know
Uh,
how deep they would be batting if Sean Abbott joins the team? Or every
10?
single person, because Lion now, who is their regular night watchman, becomes the 11th
Yeah.
batter.
See, I think
Mm.
Scott Boland played his last test about a year and a half ago. So this is probably one of the reasons why I felt he got
Mm.
a game. just so that he could have a bit of exposure at that international players leading into the game.
Yeah. I mean, if you look at the pecking order, he
Question.
does deserve the chance. And I mean, the man's not getting any younger.
Mm.
He's the oldest out of all of the fast bowlers they've picked. So yeah. But mind games,
Yeah.
if you look at it from mind games point of view, I reckon Sean Abbott's going to be in the 11th. Hot take right here again. But the other thing, they haven't added any spinners in the squad outside of Lyon. I mean,
don't think
Zampa gets
this
a
Bo
surprise
Webster
callback.
guy, his list goes on. He's like, I'm a right hand bat that bowls right arm medium and right arm off break. He's a bit of a menace.
I think it'll be interesting what they do. Like what we're saying is Australia may do with just one change. Like Chai saying there's only one change, which is Hazelwood's injury. We all pray he recovers
or
quickly
shuts up.
from wherever he's injured.
Quickly, but after the 5 tests.
After, yes, after the 5 tests, please. For us, yeah, please come later on. But Raj is saying Sean Abbott may get a
Surprise bowling.
callback because Raj got a point that you don't want to expose your bowler that's going to be against Adelaide. So I think it'll be quite interesting. So 2 more days for these guys for the game to start, and it's obviously a pink ball, so it starts at 3:30 our
Yeah.
time, I
Late
think.
in the afternoon.
3:30 our time. Yeah, late in the afternoon. So this will finish
Yeah,
around
10 or
10
10:30,
o'clock. No,
unless the over 8s
10-ish.
are slow.
10 or 10:30. Yeah, correct. So a lot to look forward to. We are like first test, we're all scared. We're like, okay, I think we'll lose. It put us a lot of confidence
Nah,
in India's team,
I
and
think
we've got
pink
like
ball has to be Australia, yeah. Because again,
no,
okay,
that's what I was getting to. That's what I was getting to. Like first test with a lot of confidence, but I think pink ball we're still a bit unsure, but it still gives us good confidence going into the test. Like there is a lot that we're still scared of, but it
yeah.
gives
But
us
I think
really good
before
I'm
the
confidence.
just
series, if you asked me,
Um,
hey, which of these tests do you think
yeah,
Australia's guaranteed to win? It's the pink ball test. Yeah, and
as
their
Adelaide.
record tells you
So yeah,
every single pink ball test they've won, and they've won one
correct.
against
Yeah,
every single major team. South Africa beaten, England beaten, New Zealand
yeah.
beaten, India beaten, and now it's 2.0
uh,
time.
I'm just
I was just gonna
uh,
hold a rare hope that wins may have changed a little bit, but that's just me holding
uh,
a rare hope.
trust the OG scriptwriter.
But to be honest, I think if India does win this match, it'll be very hard for Australia to come back after that.
Yeah, if that happens,
Do you think then we'll got the
Um,
series?
oh,
If we
big
got
time,
this test, do you
Potentially,
think
yeah,
we got the
yeah,
big
series?
time.
potentially.
I think if
Yeah.
if we win this pink test, I wouldn't be surprised if all the pundits start calling a 4-0 or 5-0 against India.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh. And WTC confirmed and in the bag with
Well,
our
spot in WTC is confirmed. Will be confirmed.
spot in the WTC. We got to win the final also. That's right. Yeah. No, cool. So
Wait. Sorry,
let's
before
see
you
what
wrap up,
happens.
Randeep,
I
before
think
you
it's
wrap up,
still going
Randeep,
to be a very
I've
interesting
just
game.
seen the
Yeah.
weather report for Adelaide. First day of the match. There's a bit of rain.
No,
There's a bit of rain.
don't tell
It's
us.
all sunny after that, but you know what that means, right? On
Yeah.
Friday, overcast conditions, the ball's gonna hoop. I can see Rohit Sharma losing the toss. Pat Cummins chooses to bowl, and
No,
In
don't
a
say
parallel universe, I could see Bumrah getting a 6-4 again.
the thing is
Look at
with
that.
Rohit's luck and tosses, um, this parallel universe of yours looks very unlikely. And imagine, I can just imagine just
Let's.
36,
I
36
I
again.
think we can all just wait and watch.
Yeah. But how crazy is that? First day is the only day we're gonna see some rain, and Friday is
Oh
good
yeah.
times.
Yeah. Looks like
Yeah. So
rain. Yeah,
it'll be
midday.
perfectly
It's
overcast when they start, and then into lights will also swing.
yeah,
It'll be interesting.
yeah, yeah, yeah. Now all good. Stay tuned. I think this is going to be a very interesting test. So, as Raj said, it's going to be a bit of an overcast, but then it'll get really nice. So which could be that the pitch, a dry pitch, it could be a little bit wet, and then
Yeah.
opening it up. So please stay tuned. See our previous videos, all our IPL auctions and first series wrap up somewhere around here. Like, subscribe, comment what you think of the next test, and who do you think will be in Australia's squad, and will they just have the one change, or they'll get the little Labu also,
Labul
which I
stay.
don't think so,
Labul
but
stay.
see if they do, that'll be quite
But will
controversial.
it be
But
Abbott
yeah, thanks
or
again, guys.
Boland?
Oh, the controversial one, Abbott or Boland. Appreciate it, guys. Thanks again.